The interest of Riley Florentino. We're here today for our status hearing. In this case, we are conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making our record. I do not have the mother, Jennifer Montalongo, nor the father, Alberto Florentino, present in the waiting room. So at least at this point in time, they are not present. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the Department, the St. Francis Permanency Specialist today is Corey Mills.
Meredith Graff appearing for Jennifer Montalongo. I have been in communication with her and sent her the link a couple of times, but I think she's having technology problems. She hasn't responded to the last email or the last communication I had with her just about 15 minutes ago. So I will be here and I'm ready. Thank you.
Yeah, Phil, on behalf of Alberto Florentino, ready?
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Riley.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's see. Ms. Mills, if you'll raise your right hand for me, you solemnly swear or affirm that you'll give us the truth this morning?
Yes, I will.
All right. You may go right ahead and update us, and then we'll see who has questions for you.
All right. And just to clarify, I've also been in communications with Jennifer this morning. I sent her the link as well. Like 2 minutes ago, was my last text from her. So she might be coming. But that being said, Riley's doing really great. She is such a funny little girl. She has the best facial expressions of any child I've ever seen. She's really just doing great in her placement.
Corey, have service plans been developed?
Yes, I have completed the service plans, and I was on vacation last week when my parent support worker met with Jennifer. That's the one and only time we've actually gotten her to meet with us. And she was provided her service plan at that time.
Okay, what about father?
I have been able to meet with the father. He was transferred to a jail in Pampa, and I'm scheduled to go meet with him later on this week.
When you met with him, were you able to discuss services with him?
Yes, I was able to discuss services, but that was so early in the case, I did not have the plan ready at that time. But I did mail him a copy. However, I don't know if he's gotten that. Usually jail mail takes a while.
Okay, but you said you're meeting with him later this week?
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Mills, can I clarify, is he like in Gray County Jail or is he in TDC?
He's in TDC. He's in Baton unit in Pampa. And he just moved there. I'm very confused though, because he told me he was going to an ISF unit for 60 days. And this unit is not ISF. And when I Google him, like on the TDCJ website, his projected release date is like 2036. And so I don't know exactly what is going on. I'm going to try to get some clarification when I see him in person.
2036?
Yes, yeah. But that's completely different than what he told me. So
Okay, we'll find out if Mr. Hill has any knowledge about any of this here.
Judge, I don't have any more knowledge than the fact that he's in the unit in Pampa. That's all I know as well.
All right. Certainly would sound like either he pled to or went to trial on some other kind of charge. So, okay. Mom is logging in. Let me bring her in real quickly. Okay. Well, I guess Ms. Mills, you'll find out more when you see him.
yes.
It probably says on the TDC website what it's for.
I think it says parole violation. Let me see if I can get some more information real quick.
Judge, I'm looking at the TDCJ site. He has a 2015 burglary of a hab. He was sentenced to that in 2017. That was a 20-year sentence at that point in time. It doesn't say if it's a parole violation on the site, but being sentenced in 2017 and having a 20-year charge or 20-year sentence would add up to 2037 or so yeah, 2037, and then with time served 2036. So we can certainly look and see what we can figure out in that regards as well.
Okay, well, in the meantime, Mr. Hill, at least you know where to find him.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, I've got mom logging in. Looks like I've got her on 2 devices. Ms. Montalongo, can you unmute so I make sure you can hear me? Okay, we're going to go and proceed. I think she can hear us. We just can't hear her. So, Ms. Montalongo, if at any point in time, if you can respond to us, please do so. All right, then, did Ms. Mills, has either parent signed the actual family plan of service?
No, they have not actually signed them. So sorry. They have not signed them, but they have been explained to them.
All right. Okay, how has your communication been with mom?
Not good at all. I have never been able to meet her. I've attempted several times. She does better communicating with the parent support worker. She'll at least text her back. And last week, like I said, I was on vacation, but she did actually come to the office and meet with Mindy, the parent support worker. And so Mindy was able to get her assessments done, and she went over the family plan, but unfortunately I was just on vacation.
Okay. All right, so she's saying she can hear us. All right, saying that she saw the parent support worker and that went great. All right. Okay, Ms. Montalongo, it's real important you stay in touch with Ms. Mills as well. She's your permanency specialist, so just be sure that you're staying in contact with her as well and your attorney. All right, Ms. Groff, any questions today or anything to present?
I do not, Your Honor. I have been talking to Ms. Montalongo, and it looks like we'll be getting together next week, probably after Tuesday. After I'm going to get back from my vacation, and we'll be able to get together. So we'll put together a plan so she can get busy and get started on these services so we don't lose any time. So that's the plan. And it sounds like she's actually really motivated to do that. So I'm hoping that motivation will continue. So that's where we're at right now.
All right, I appreciate it. And thank you for logging in while you're on vacation. Sorry for you to have to do that.
No worries. It's fine.
All right, Mr. Hill, any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Powell put in the chat that apparently that is an ISF unit, but it doesn't really sound to me like that's what he's there for. So anyway, we'll see what we can figure out about that. Okay, Ms. Zavala.
Your Honor, I second what Ms. Mills said. Riley's doing really, really well. I've got no concerns about her placement, and I do recommend that continue.
All right, very good. Okay, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue the child's placement. I find there would be find a continuing danger to return the child to either parent at this time. And in fact, impossible to return to Mr. Florentino since he's incarcerated. I'm going to order the service plans as an order of the court. And I'll see everybody back for our next review hearing on September 15th of 2026. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. All right. Thank you all so very much, and I'll see you in a couple months.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Meredith, thank you for being here on your vacation.
No problem. It's real nice here in Las Vegas. Thanks.
Judge, I'm looking for Michelle Slagle for the next one.
Okay, she's logged in. Call, cause number 99656D in the interest of Luxury Martinez. We're here today for a review hearing. We're conducting this through Zoom. We're live streaming, and Ms. Taylor's making our record for us. Okay, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the department, the St. Francis Permanency Specialist. Today is Michelle Slagle.
Lauren Lucero on behalf of the mother, Alyssa Martinez, Your Honor, we're both present and ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of Luxury.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Let's see, Ms. Slagle, if you'll unmute for me. Okay. If you can unmute for me and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth?
Yes.
All right. All right, you can go ahead and give us an update, and then we'll see if anybody has any questions.
Alyssa is still in rehab. She's still working. There's not anything a whole lot new since the court report. They did do their first in-person visit, which went well for what we expected since it's been a while since Luxury has seen mom. She still has a little bit of issues with making it on time to the virtual visits, or I know there's been a few that she's missed. I don't know if that's because of work or what the reasoning is on that, but she does interact very well with Luxury. She's working. One major update is last week, the end of last week, Devin Harris did finally talk to his courtesy worker and asked if he could start his visitation. So I did try to contact him last week and today also about this court hearing, and I was still not able to get a hold of him. So I'm not for sure where his headspace is on this.
Judge, can I ask a couple of questions in that regard?
Sure.
Michelle, Luxury is 2 years old. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Has she ever in that 2 years had any type of significant relationship with Devin?
No, he has never met Devin at all. This was the first time that he's actually stated, well, let me rephrase that. When we got the DNA testing back, and that it did show that he was the father, he did state at that time that he would like to start having visits. And then after that, no contact. We have a courtesy worker that goes out every month. I try to call him every month, and nothing till the end of last week did he talk to anybody or show any interest in wanting to see her.
Okay. I know, as I said, Luxury is only 2. Is she in any type of like play therapy or anything?
No, she's not. She emotionally, she's great. She does fantastic with mom. Well, she does great with mom on visits. She's 2, so it's getting to that point where it's hard for her to stay where she wants to, visit through the video screen. So there is times where she's starting to kind of back off from wanting to do the virtual visits, but that's age, of course, with her.
Okay. Would it be possible to to potentially get her in some sort of play therapy if you're going to introduce Mr. Harris into her life?
Yes, if that was a possibility to introduce him, yes, we would definitely. Those would be therapeutic visits. I do not believe they would be able to start off as um, just straight off, visits with him.
Okay, now at some point in time, was Mr. Harris sent a service plan?
Yes.
Um, do you I guess you haven't been in contact with him. Do you know if he's done anything on that service plan?
The only thing that was on his service plan was to start visits and to do his DNA testing, in which he did do his DNA testing. And then after that, like I said, we visited about starting visits and what would be appropriate. And that was way at the beginning of this case. And that he's said that he could not be placement for her because his son was in some legal issues. So he could not have her in his home. And that was about it.
Okay, that's all I have, Judge.
I mean, he's declined placement of the child consistently throughout the case.
Yes, he has.
He's not participated in anything really to date other than the genetic testing.
That's correct.
All right. Where does he live?
He lives by San Antonio.
And mom is still in the Houston area?
Yes.
And the child is placed here
No, the child is in Bryan, Texas.
in Bryan. Okay. Oh, that's right. Closer to Houston. Okay. Well, I mean, have we had, I don't know. I mean, the courtesy worker is the one that had contact, I guess, recently, but does he understand that, there's some steps that need to happen to establish a relationship with the 2-year-old before, we're just going to start sending her off for visits?
Yes, and we had that conversation at the very beginning of the case. He does have a long lost, or not a long lost, a long time girlfriend that he's had for 17 plus years, and they have children together. Um, and they had both expressed that they could not have her in the home. But he did say he wanted visits. And then after that, we've had a courtesy worker. We do our due diligence of going out several times a month, trying to make contact, trying to make phone calls with him. And like I said, that was at the very beginning of this case.
Do you have any feel for, is it the longtime girlfriend that's pushing back against this, that maybe doesn't want the
I
child involved with the family, or is it him?
I kind of had that feeling at the beginning, but then I've also had conversations, with him when he was by himself, and where he just straight, could not be placement for her. But he's had a caseworker, courtesy worker through this whole case. He's had my phone number and email address through this whole case. So that's what, when I was going to call him, I was going to find out if there had been a change in his situation, like if they were no longer together. So now he wanted to have contact with her. But, he's very, very late in the case and has, known since the day this case was open that she was in our care.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my concern, not only Mr. Harris, but for mom, for Ms. Martinez, is that we are running out of time.
Correct.
And although Ms. Martinez is engaged now in doing things and all that, but we're up against a drop dead date on July 31st.
Yes.
So we're getting, dangerously close to the end of the line where, Ms. Martinez, we've extended the case. So we're getting at that point where I have very few options, but I have to finalize the case. In some fashion. So let me ask Ms. Powell, have you all got any mediation scheduled or anything in the case?
Sorry, Judge, I had to unmute. No, I don't believe we have a mediation scheduled at this point in time.
All right, well, we'll get someone appointed because I think we're at the point where that needs to start happening. We're
Okay.
set for trial July 28th, so.
I think this may have been previously mediated. Look, Lorene would know better than I do since Daniel had been on it. I think it was previously mediated, but I think there's a lot that has changed since then. So
I had ordered it back before January 20th of 26, which was before the extension. And
yes,
I don't have a note in front of me whether they actually went or because we extended the case, they didn't. Ms. Lucera, do you recall?
Your Honor, right now, at the top of my head, I was thinking we went, but just when you made that statement there, I think maybe since we extended the case, we didn't go at that time. I'm trying to, honestly, I don't even remember myself.
Let me look and see if we got anything from a mediator.
I think they're correct on that. I think we just extended the case. I was out for 3 months, but looking back at my notes when I came back the 1st of February, that she had just went to rehab.
Yeah, hang on, I'm trying to pull up a letter from Mr. Barfield. Okay, you all did attend.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Ms. Zavala, Ms. Lucero, you and your client placement attended. Father did not. Yeah, said after meeting with all parties, it's determined the best course of action in this case is for Ms. Martinez to go to inpatient drug rehab. Consequently, it's my recommendation and agreed by the parties that we recess the mediation so she could go to rehab, and then that you all had agreed to maintain the January trial date in the event she did not follow through. So when she did, then we obviously extended the case. So he would still be your mediator, as you all somewhat started the process and then recessed it. So I want you all to get a date again with Mr. Barfield
Brooks, okay.
leading into this, and probably say no later than July 15th. That gives mom just a little more time, and y'all get to mediation at least close to 2 weeks before trial. Okay, then Ms. Lucero, anything to
Just-
add today?
I just had a couple of questions for Ms. Slagle. Ms. Slagle, are the in-person visits, are those gonna now continue regularly, or how is that gonna work?
Yes, we're going to do virtual every other week and in person every other week. And we do have transport that is picking Alyssa up and taking her to Brian for the first few, just so Alyssa can start getting acquainted and start building that in-person bond. And then we'll start some, either meeting halfway or going to the rehab. She's not allowed to, Luxury's not allowed to live with Alyssa there at that rehab. So we don't really want to introduce her to that kind of rehab when there's not children there. So
Okay.
we are trying to come up with a game plan with that. And Alyssa's going to be working towards going to a facility, or not, it's not a facility, but for a program for women that their children go to. And then we'll try to start the in-person visits at that place.
Okay, and is it your understanding that a different facility or place for Alyssa to live, that she's working on that? Is that similar to the couple of programs that we have here in Amarillo, when moms are getting back on their feet, have gone through rehab, and the kids are placed with them?
Yes,
Carolina?
they've got several places, and she'll have to stay in the current program that she's in, meaning the same counseling, all of the same groups, all everything that she's at the facility she's at now. She has to stay engaged in those programs to be able to stay in the housing that is for mothers. So only thing that will change is she will be in, it's basically two different programs is what I gather from it. So she will still be doing all of those same things, but living in a facility, more of a housing facility that luxury will be able to go to.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Legal. I'll pass the witness, Sean.
Would that be kind of akin to a sober living program?
Yeah, well, and where she's at, they kind of name it different than what we would as a I guess a regular facility, because she's kind of in a sober living facility now, but it's really a rehab. So she'll just move to another program that's more of a housing
Yeah.
facility. And the only issue with that is when she moves to that place, she'll have to have daycare on her own and transport on her own and a job and pay rent. So I think she's at a great place now that they're going to be able to help her get those resources. I've talked to her case manager several times. And I did let them know, the urgency of us being at the end of the case, but we don't want to push Alyssa too much too fast where she does have a relapse. So they are working with her on getting in the applications and stuff for those programs.
Okay. So hopefully it will be somewhat under the same umbrella as where she is now, but I understand a different program.
Yes. Yeah, she has to stay in the program she's in now,
Okay.
meeting all of the same requirements. And she said that means the same drug testing 3 times a week, all of the group counseling, individual counseling, drug rehabilitation, all of that stuff. She has to completely stay in that program to stay in the housing program.
Okay. So Ms. Martinez, what I'll say to you is, yeah, we're running out of time in your case, but I cannot encourage you enough to just stick with what you're doing. Stay with this. It's working for you. You're seeing some successes. When you get back to mediation, everybody will talk about what are all the possible outcomes in the case. And, I will just tell you that even though we're approaching this deadline, there are different outcomes. And so, Ms. Lucero can talk with you about that. Um, work that program, stay in that program. It's your, you know, it's your absolute best chance of success in getting your daughter back. And whether that's in 2 months from now or 6 months from now, I'm just telling you that the same outcome is there for you if you will continue with that program. So, it's critically important you stay with it. Just stay with it. Okay. All right. Okay, Ms. Zavala.
Miss Slagle, between the last hearing, March 10th, and today, did mom miss 5 visits?
Yes, ma'am.
Does mom have a new boyfriend?
Not that I have been told. I have not heard that, but that's not a question that I've asked, honestly.
Okay, but any in-person visits going forward would just be for mom.
Yes, correct. Yeah, we will not be adding anybody in to those visits but mom, and that would be absolute discussion with mom about focusing on luxury and work. She does have a good job right now, and she does make it to that job. So those are things that, she knows is her number one focus. So that's something I have not honestly asked her.
If Miss Martinez indicated that this person is someone who is going to be regularly in her life going forward, would it be possible for us to work with him on potential services as well if he is going to potentially be a part of Luxury's life?
Um, yes, and that's kind of a hard discussion, I guess, to have while we're in a court hearing. Those would be some discussions I'd have to have with her, because this is going to be a hard transition for Luxury, any way we look at it, because she has been in her foster home for such a long time and has a huge bond with them. And we would want Alyssa to just focus on Luxury and working and on her recovery, because she's doing fantastic right now in that. I've seen a huge change in her. So that would be a discussion that me and Alyssa would have to have together, because that would be something I would not recommend at this point in her life, but she's also an adult and is able to make those decisions on her own.
Okay. And it sounds like the in-person visit went well. Had it been about 16 months since Mom had seen her in person?
Yes, but they do regular 2 visits a week virtually. And like I said, she does engage with Mom very well. But here recently, she's started to push back from that, just at certain times. But I do believe that's her age. When they start getting older, it's hard to keep them engaged on a video, which a lot of the times Alyssa just watches her play, when she doesn't want to engage, in those things. So Mom does very well on the virtual visits with her, and Alyssa and Luxury does too.
Okay. But would it be better to have some communication about why visits are missed, or some notice ahead of time if visits are going to be missed?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And that was the issue before with Alyssa, either running out of battery or not where she had service, and things like that. I know there was a couple that we don't have a reason why she missed those visits. But I do know she has a lot of groups. She has groups every day, and she does work in catering. So yeah, that will be a conversation that I will have with her about. We need to know ahead of time, because Luxury does get ready for those visits.
And I know that Ms. Powell asked you about potential play therapy if we're going to introduce Mr. Harris, but introducing Mom after 16 months is also an important change in Luxury's life.
Yes.
Do you have any leads on therapists there in the area that could work with Luxury?
Yes, and well, I now visit with Lindsay and her. She's got a wonderful courtesy worker down there, and I will see about starting some play therapy with her. It's just hard to do in-person play therapy because Alyssa does. On a map, it looks like she's only an hour and a half away or an hour and 45 minutes, but sometimes it's 3 hours, depending on how traffic is there. So that is definitely something we can look into and start getting her into some play therapy to start working through. And we can do, like Mom virtually on those play therapy visits if we need to just start helping Luxury work through those things.
Your Honor, those are all the questions I have. I don't know if you're ready for my report at this point.
I am.
Okay. Luxury's doing amazing in placement. She's gone from being behind developmentally, based on her ECI evaluation, to actually being up towards the top developmentally. I've got no concerns about where she is, and I recommend that placement continue.
All right, thank you, Ms. Ball. So, Ms. Lael, yeah, and Ms. Martinez, I want y'all to have a candid discussion about whether or not there's a new person in Ms. Martinez's life. I don't expect to do that out on YouTube, but you know, it's very important that we know the answer to that and, you know, is this a positive thing for Ms. Martinez, or is this something that could be a distraction and, you know, be a problem for us? So, I hope you all will have that discussion sometime soon. All right, then I will order you to resume mediation with Mr. Barfield no later than July 15th of 2026. I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, and I will continue the child's current placement. I do find there's a continuing danger to return the child home to either parent at this time. I am not going to order any kind of visitation with Mr. Harris until he you know, contacts and maintains some kind of consistent contact with us and we know what the man really wants to do. I'm not convinced that we really know what he wants at this point in time. So, you know, if he becomes consistent in his contact with us and makes his wishes known, we can look at that. It's not going to be easy, and he's going to, you know, it's going to mean he's going to have to do some traveling to make that happen, I think. So, anyway, just my thoughts. I would find that Ms. Martinez is in compliance with her family plan of service at this time. Mr. Harris is not. And I will see you all back for our final in this case on July 28th of 2026. That's set on a 9 o'clock docket. All right, Ms. Martinez, I wish you continued progress. Work hard. All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you, Judge.
I will call cause number 100929 -D. This is in the interest of Zermani Bates. And we are here today scheduled for our adversary. This is actually a reset from May 19th, where we appeared. Mom personally appeared at that hearing. And Mr. Bates did not. Mr. Brown, I think, was wanting some additional time to try to make contact with him. So we're here to take up the adversary matter today. We are conducting this through Zoom under a finding of good cause and agreement of parties. We are live streaming, and Ms. Taylor is making her record today. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Melinda Powell for the department. The worker today is Malia Evans.
Bailey Sapien on behalf of respondent mother, Miss Moore. My client is not present. I have been in communication with her and she is in agreement with the department being named the temporary managing conservator of the child.
Ryan Brown for Mr. Bates. I haven't been able to speak with Mr. Bates in quite some time, so I'm not ready.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the child.
Okay, Mr. Brown, I understand your position, but we're going to run out of time, and so we are going to need to proceed today. Mr. Bates has been personally served in this matter back on May 7th of 2026. So obviously then he requested a court-appointed attorney, so he's quite aware of the proceeding, and I'm sure you've attempted to send him the link and contact him and have him present today. I'll watch the waiting room for him in case he shows up late. All right, Ms. Powell, who's your first witness going to be today?
Malia Evans. Malia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Good. Ms. Evans, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. And Judge, prior to calling her, as Ms. Sapien indicated, mother is in agreement with the department being named temporary managing conservator of the child. And so we'll just focus on the father today.
All right, I appreciate it. Ms. Sapien, thank you for securing her agreement today.
Ms. Evans, please state your name.
Malia Evans.
And how are you currently employed?
I work for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services.
Okay, and are you familiar with the case involving the child Zermani Bates?
Yes.
And I probably said that incorrectly. And how are you familiar with the child?
I'm the investigator on the case.
Okay, and when did you become involved in the case?
I got the report on May 1st, 2026.
Okay, and was that shortly after the birth of the child?
Yes.
Okay, and who is the father of this child?
Alan Bates.
Okay, and did you have a discussion with Mr. Bates regarding the allegations at the time that you received the case?
Yes.
And did the allegations involve drug use?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you discuss drug use with the father, Alan Bates?
Yes.
What did Mr. Bates tell you?
That he used methamphetamines about once or twice a month, and that he had used as recently as a week prior to the birth.
Would it be safe for the child to be placed with Alan Bates?
No.
Why not?
Due to his admitted drug methamphetamine use, very recent and history of use, he would not be able to provide a safe and stable environment for the child.
And would it be a danger for the child to reside in a home where there's methamphetamine use?
No, there would not.
Are you asking today?
Melinda, she said no.
Let me get
Maybe
her
I
to clarify
misunderstood
that.
the question. Sorry.
Would it be, let me ask a better question. Would it be safe for the child to be placed in a home where there's methamphetamine use?
No, it would not.
And why not?
Because it would pose a danger to the child due to exposure.
Okay. Are you asking today that the department be named the temporary managing conservator of the child?
Yes.
And will services be discussed with the parents prior to the status hearing?
Yes.
And do you believe that it is in the best interest of the child to be named, for the department to be named temporary managing conservator?
Yes.
Okay, I pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Sapien, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Brown?
I don't have any questions.
All right, and Ms. Zavala?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Powell, anything further from this witness?
No, Your Honor, I rest.
Okay, Ms. Sapien, anything today?
No, Your Honor, I'll rest.
All right, Mr. Brown
No, Your Honor, I rest.
and Ms. Zavala?
Nothing to present. I rest.
All right, Ms. Zavala, do you have a recommendation today?
Yes, I do believe it's in the child's best interest to remain in the temporary managing conservatorship of the department. She is placed with family and is doing very well.
What relative is she placed with?
She is with a maternal grandmother.
Maternal grandmother?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Sapien, let me just ask, I know that at one point Mom was talking about wanting to relinquish.
Yes, that's
Is that
still the plan.
Is still the case?
Yes.
All right, okay. Okay, then, I do find the evidence is sufficient to name the Department of Family and Protective Services as the temporary managing conservator of the child, Zumani Bates. I would find that there would be a continuing and ongoing danger to the health and safety of the child, or return the child home to either parent at this time due to admitted drug use. And obviously mother has agreed to this arrangement. Um, I'll expect parents to work services unless another arrangements are made. But we'll talk more about that at the status hearing, which will be on June 30th of 2026. That will be on a 9 o'clock docket. All right, I appreciate everybody. And department obviously will continue to use reasonable efforts to reunify the family, and like I said, until some other arrangement is made, if that's the way this is going to go. So, okay, thank y'all. I'll see you back June 30th.
Thanks, y'all.